cannot tell you how many times Henry has gotten his head stuck. Well, that's really not a good idea, is it? Not to mention there's a pitchfork right there. What are you doing? Always and forever. He has been getting his head stuck in this space right there. Don't lick me. Yucky. Right there. Except I have not used this feeder in weeks, and he still puts his head in there, and then he gets himself stuck, and I'm like, there's not even food in there. And then this happens on a regular basis. No, dude, you're gonna... Turn your head sideways. It's not like he can't get himself unstuck, he just doesn't. You guys stink. You really stink. We need to change our feeder systems. Okay, Grant, just because he's wagging his tail does not mean that he's a girl. Ew. He's wagging his tail because he's excited and happy to be free. So I'm gonna move this feeder back over there. Don't tell your husband you did that. This whole section needs to be fixed, replaced. This fence literally does nothing right now. But I need to, yeah. Basically the deal with this waterer, I don't even think you guys can see. Hold on, I'll talk about that later. Alright, so we put up this middle stretch to be able to cut this big pen into two to separate goats, really, whether that's kids from adults or different diet pens if needed. But as you can see, this fence is completely garbage, so they just go right through there instead of using the gate opening. Problem being is that when I clean out this waterer or deal with anything underneath, you need to be able to open it up, and so I almost need like a wooden frame that also opens up on the top. And so that's kind of like a, probably we'll just leave it to Stan to try to figure out what he wants to do there, because he's a lot better at that kind of problem solving. Don't get your head stuck in there. Find your food. Goats are funny in the aspect that they're really picky, and so yes, I could fill up their feeder all the way and then just not feed them for like a week. But if it rains, then that feed starts to rot and mold and get disgusting. But before that, even if the hay is wet, they're very unlikely to actually eat it. And so you end up wasting a lot of feed versus just kind of rationing it out. These guys are being fed once a day, and I just kind of give them, that's more than enough for 24 hours for the three of them. And because we're due to get a bit of rain this afternoon, then hopefully we're not wasting a ton of it. Somebody's not overly happy today, huh? Okay, this area needs to get dealt with. This was the kid pen. I want to just take this all apart and clean it up, come in and mow this down, get rid of all the junk that's sitting around. all is well until it's not. Ah! Idling okay right now, but watch this. That, the backfiring. That. Well, I've got more than one problem here, that being one of them. Apparently I should have filled up the tire because it was low. Yay! Alright, that's where she's gonna sit for now. And I guess I don't get to finish my mowing job. I mean, it's looking better. Just didn't get much of it done. You know how much junk can accumulate when there's grass that's overgrown? My goodness. I was like, oh, I hope I don't hit anything. Like, I did a walk through the grass first, just to make sure there wasn't anything big, like a feed pan or something buried in the grass. But yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I might have to YouTube how to put a tire back on. I'm not sure if it involves ether or getting it up kind of higher or what I have to do. I don't know. I also sat on the seat and then like momentarily forgot that it had rained all night and that the seat was soaking wet. So now my butt looks like I peed myself, but I promise I did not. How to fix a lawn tractor tire. How to change a lawnmower tire the easiest. By How to Zach. We'll see if we can get it figured out.
Rubber or to gouge that rim. I'd hate to do all this work to have to go back and get a new tire. So now that they've got the tire,
This is the part I need right here.
good seal where we get some air. So I'm gonna take my handy dandy strap here. Like I said earlier, you don't need anything special.
Okay, I claim to be a professional now because I've watched like 3 minutes of a YouTube video of how to do this. Although it was off of the tractor. But as you can see on the back side, that rim is still sealed on that side. It's just the outside where we've got the valve stem where it's not even, like if I were to pump air into that, obviously the air is just gonna everywhere. Oh, let's see here. So this inside rim's got to sit right in that groove. Probably the best way to start is to try to get it up on blocks. I don't know if I have a jack, but maybe I do. If not, then might have to get creative here. This is still not going to work. I have sucked this in about as much as I can go, but because it's sitting on the ground, I think that it's causing issues with this one. It needs to be pulled out further, and even if I pull the inside of this tire out, there's no way I'm going to be able to get air to stay in there. So I think I will accept my defeat because I cannot find a tire jack, which is a problem, and Stan is out of cell service today, so I think I'll just leave it for him to take care of later. Well, the good thing about not being able to finish that job is that I can start another one. So I'm just gonna put my tools away and get a few other things that I need to do other job. Oh, that hammer's broken. Just realized that. Need one of these bad boys to go pull some staples in the fence around the lagoon, because we're hoping to be able to level that whole area and build a fence around the lagoon. But before I do that, I have to dump a bunch of videos off this phone because, fun fact, I still record all of my stuff on an old cell phone, which is okay, but it's not emptied, so there's like a whole bunch of pictures and videos of like the kids over the last few years and life over the last few years, and yeah, I run out of space very quickly because, believe it or not, videos take up like gigabytes worth of stuff, and so I'm always running out of space, which is very frustrating and annoying, and probably the hardest part about vlogging, because the other day I was in the middle of recording a session with Duke, my little bay gelding, and well, I ran out of space mid-session and I didn't realize it, and it was such a great session. I was so excited to share it with you, and then I went and checked my phone and it was like 3 minutes of that ride, and I was so frustrated, but I just need to learn to be better prepared, I think. And then we have lots of fun, and then the computer runs out of space. So I'm going to take this whole stretch of wire down up to the corner, because hopefully Stan can use the tractor to level out the top of this berm on the edge of the lagoon. And then we're going to pound posts and fence it with page wire or whatever kind of fencing we decide to get, just to keep the kiddos a little bit more safe, because they do enjoy coming back here, and I would just rather somebody not walk along the berm and fall in and drown, because that would be incredibly devastating. So that's the plan here. Well, this is going to be slightly time consuming to pull all these wires off. A little bit more so than I expected. I'm a little bit unsure if I should be pulling more than a staple at a time, maybe 2 at a time, just so it doesn't get all tangled up. We'll get it. Hear my buckling screaming over here, which makes me think that he's got his head stuck again, this is probably at least the 6th or 7th time. What's happening, boys? Again, Henry? Seriously, dude. Ay, ay, ay. Good thing I heard you yelling. Got him out. We'll see how long it takes him to get his head stuck again later. I have about had it with dogs chewing my stuff. even if I leave it like up out of reach from them, like where they'd have to get on their hind legs to be able to grab it, they still grab my stuff and then destroy it. And it's like a $40 helmet. And now it's trash because dogs don't know how to leave stuff alone. We are gonna try something new over here. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a flop or a great idea. Oh, and I just realized that's not screwed, it's hammered. I guess that is not gonna do me any good.
And after this, are we gonna get money?
Are you gonna get money?
But this is
Trying to test it out before it's time. Oh, wait.
Oh boy. This is a big
27 will be great. Where'd the box go? Out here? Oh, you horses need to settle down. Fix this whole pen. It's falling apart on this side.
Look at
Can you grab Mommy's hammer over there?
this one?
Nope, the other one.
This one?
No, no, hammer on the ground. Look down, that one.
Oh, this
Yes. Can you bring that to Mom?
one? Yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, so strong.
Oh my goodness.
It is, yeah. Woo! This stupid hammer. This hammer. Is this screwed in? Nope. Get this nail out. Voila! Tearing things apart. Fantastic.
I swear.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
What are earthworms good for?
They're very good for the soil. They help to aerate the soil and bring moisture to it.
Oh, that's nice.
Buckies are back in their buck pen for now, because obviously I have no way to keep them contained now, and I've just got to do a quick trip to town. I didn't want them in my nice hay bale peeing all over it, because that's what boys do. So we will resume this project hopefully this afternoon and get that better set up for the newbies coming home. This type of stuff really just frustrates me because I want to be able to do it, but I don't have, I don't know, the ability to figure out how to get it on there. Like, I mean, I guess I could try to take the whole tire off, but I can't get the tire itself to seal. And that's where I guess guys use ether, where they basically spray a gas in the tire and then they light it, and basically it combusts and it fills that tire and puts it back on the seal. But I don't really feel like attempting to explode anything today. And it's annoying because the yard is completely overgrown and I would like to get this cleaned up, and there's just a lot of tasks that sometimes I tell myself that I can't do by myself, but maybe it's just that I can't do it by myself while watching the kids, or maybe it's just an excuse. And it's also really frustrating when sometimes I get comments from people who are like, "Where's your husband? And you can't do it all by yourself." And it's just not helpful, guys. My husband works his butt off, and sometimes, yeah, I wish that he was available at the drop of the hat to be able to be like, "Hey, can you come do this for me?" But like most husbands, he's out working full time, and that enables me to be able to stay home with our kids and to be able to do some of the stuff that I can do. And so yes, that involves then being more patient sometimes and waiting for him to be able to have time to be able to tackle some of these jobs. And so please just don't attack my husband and be like, "Well, your husband should be able to do that." Absolutely, he's able to do that, just not always at the drop of the hat and not always when I want it to get done. And so when I have a timeline, I like to be able to do said jobs on my own instead of having to rely on somebody else's timeline. Because right now, where the lawn tractor is sitting is going to prevent me from cleaning this out with the tractor, because I think I can come in here with the forks and get this feeder out, and then I can come in with a bucket and, ideally scrape this whole thing out and get it cleaned up for the newbies. But perhaps that's not on the docket for today. It's just frustrating because it's Wednesday afternoon and I'm leaving like bright and early Friday morning, and then when I come home like probably midnight Sunday, I would like for this to be done because I can't put rails back up until I get that fixed. But the alternative is to just put some of this wire back on the horse panels and have them just have this be like a panel opening here, because it would be nice to have that anyways, to be able to clean this corner out, because it's kind of the doomsday corner where I have to clean it out by hand, and it would be really nice not to have to clean it out by hand. Enough talking. Whatever. It is what it is.
You're basically so.
Yeah, hey?
Mom?
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to find.
What?
It's pretty hard finding these guys.
Finding what, guys? Oh, your toads?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Pretty hard.
Okay, out of the way, okay? Okay.
Mom, I think the goats are gonna like it.
I hope so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of squishy for them, but... So the idea here is that I can basically fence line feed directly off my hay bale. And then it's undercover, so ideally it won't get soaked unless we got like slanting rain or snow. And then they can shove their head right in there and I can just scoop hay over. My biggest question is, are the slats too wide? Will I have babies that sneak out there? Now for baby Nubians, I think that they will potentially sneak through there. Henry size, it's possible now that I'm looking at it. Like I did 6 inches, so I don't know. He would be one that I'd be worried about. The full-grown Nubian does, there's absolutely no way that they would be getting through there. And I wanted it wide enough where they wouldn't get their head stuck, is the biggest thing. Worst case scenario, and I've made them too wide or too narrow, and I just unscrew them and I adjust. Yeah, it would be a lot of work, but you don't know until you try. The bottom now is fixed so nobody can get their head stuck underneath, because that was a big problem. And then it's up enough that it should hopefully prevent a ton of feed from dumping out and getting dirty that way. Again, this is just kind of a rough way of putting together a fence line feeder. And I kind of am envisioning that I may need a rail along the top, potentially, just to keep them from like standing on it and then reaching over. And then as this gets built up with soiled hay, then they're going to be taller and taller and taller, and soon they're going to be able to just jump right out of there. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to need at least a rail over top. And then on this side, I'm really hoping that once I get that tractor out of the way, we can dig this old wooden feeder out of there. Potentially we can just use that maybe for the bucks, but I don't know. It would need some fixing because Henry keeps getting his head stuck in it, and that's terrible. And it's definitely wide enough where if it was an area that we could just open, then the tractor could just, with the bucket, just scrape this whole spot out. And that would be pristine. That would be amazing, so that I wouldn't have to hand fork clean that whole corner all the time. And then the shed, we are still in the talks of getting that repaired and replaced. It's not really a huge time crunch until we get closer to winter, so that's kind of why we've just let it sit and exist for now. It just gives them a spot to get out of the rain. But I would like to make some adjustments for sure. I guess it was ready to come out. Come on, boy. Oh yeah, we got lots of space. Except for Mr. Grant, Mr. Blocky Head. Yeah, like he's got so much room. They're so narrow in the front. That's crazy. I mean, they like it, but yeah, it could probably even be like 4 inches maybe. I think the idea works though. Hey, you didn't hold still when I was trying to measure your head earlier. No, don't eat my button. Yeah, and then as I was trying to measure his head, he thought that, I don't know, I was challenging him or something like that. And then he decided to pee all over himself. And that was disgusting. While I was standing right there. Well, this makes me kind of happy. Other than I do have to make some adjustments. Don't bite me, Grant.
I went ahead and adjusted the fence line feeder to only 4.5-inch gaps top and bottom, and it seems to make a difference. So we will see kind of how the variety of ages does with this style of feeder. But like I said, it's worth a shot because you don't know until you try it, and it could just be the best thing ever.
See if he gets a big old baby belly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm missed her. She's so sweet. You see your friends? Look. Come on. Good girl. Who's that? Hey? It's your friends. Easy girl. No. Get back. Good girl. B. B for B.
The breeder we took Jezzy to said that she was great. She had no issues with her. She was great to catch and easy to load and did fine trailering back home. And I am just really, really thankful that she is back home with us and we can hopefully book her a vet appointment to get preg checked to see if she is, in fact, packing a sweet little pea inside that we get to meet next year. Here's a sneak peek at the stallion she was bred to, and I have loved everything that I've seen from him. I've loved some of his foals, and all around, he's just a fantastic ranch broke horse with a great mind. And even though he's a stallion, he is on his best behavior. There's been like their 8, 9-year-old kid ride him at brandings and roped off of him, and he is exactly the kind of stud that I want to sire any foals of ours. And so we're really, really hopeful that we can get a really good-minded foal out of her. The plan would be to keep it, whether it's a filly or a colt. It would just be fantastic to be able to raise our own horses, knowing them from day one, to be able to grow our little herd.
I'm so excited that she's home and that there's a very good chance we could have a little foal born next year. It's just like made my whole month. Okay, I'm gonna see what else we can get done while the squirrel saga continues. We have two girls with goggles on trying to shoot water guns at the squirrel in the tree, and another toddler who's still wearing her pull-up from her nap and wearing rubber boots. This is quite comical to watch.
Some days I really wonder what on earth is wrong with me. I did the exact same thing that Stan did with the lawn tractor tire, and he was able to blow it up and fill it up with air very easily. Like, I held the thingy to put air into it, and he just kind of made sure that his hands were on the tire to make sure that the seal would catch. And yep, filled it up no problem. So I got the lawn mowed, and it looks so much better out there, and I'm very, very thankful. Thank you for hanging out with me today and watching this video. New perks are some membership options, so make sure you go check that out on my YouTube channel. See you next time.